What's up, YouTube? I am starting like 2 channels. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that channel though, but here's a video I'm about to comment on.
My best friend, who we'll call Taylor, wanted me and our other friend, who we'll call Lily, to come over for a sleepover. One of the things we did was watch a bunch of nursery rhymes for kids. I don't know why, but we were watching them anyway. One of them was about a mother cat and her kittens, and the kittens had done something naughty, and the mother cat goes, meow, 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 you shall have no pie. And Kayla stops, and she goes, Danny roams the house till like 3 a.m. singing, meow, 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 you shall have no pie. And Lily and I look at each other like, that's creepy. Because Kayla's little brother, Danny, is adorable, not creepy at all. So for him to be singing a song at 3 a.m. in the morning is kind of weird. So we decided to make alternate versions of what he was saying. Like, what if he's saying, meow, 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 I just found the knife. Or what if he's singing, meow, 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 be prepared to die. It's morbid, I know, but I guess it was fun to scare each other. Anyways, it was much, much later. Kayla had been asleep, leaving Lily and I to talk. So it's 2 a.m. and we are talking about ghosts and things like that. And then we look across the hall where Danny's room is. And it has a baby gate in the doorway, which was open, and we both notice that at the same time, and Lily goes, I'm going to shut that. So she goes over and she shuts and she locks the baby gate. She came back in and we talked for about 10 more minutes when we hear 2 sobs come from the end of the hall, and then a couple seconds of silence. And Lily and I look at each other like, what? And then we hear the sound of Danny getting up and walking to the baby gate, and we hear him laughing. It's weird for a 2-year-old to be laughing at nothing at 2 a.m. in the morning. We're a bit scared when we hear this smash, and Lily throws the rug over her head, and I look. Danny has thrown the baby gate that was locked and shut. He's thrown it open with such force that it smashed against the wall, and he just walks out, and I flop onto the bed and pretend to be asleep, even though I'm still watching him. And I watch as he looks around and then starts coming towards the room we are in. And Lily and I were both pretending to be asleep, and we're just like, oh my God, this baby is possessed. How did he do that? So he comes in and he just goes to Lily and he just lays down with her. And we talked for another hour, keeping Danny awake to make sure he was not possessed. And then when it was time to go to sleep, Danny decided he wanted to sleep with me. So I had to sleep with a maybe possessed 2-year-old for the rest of the night.
That's fun.
Sometimes I wonder about my little sister. This one time, my mom had asked me to babysit her, so my little sister and I were sitting on the couch and we were watching a movie. My sister told me she was hungry, and she was like 2 at the time, so she just said chopped words like hungry, hungry. And so I went to the kitchen to make dinner, and then all of a sudden I just hear her scream, a blood-curdling scream. So I drop everything, I run into the living room, and I'm all like, what's wrong, ready to square up with someone trying to hurt my sister. She just looks at me with this psychotic little grin, and then she's like, I got you. 2 years old, they usually just say little chopped sentences, but she said that so clearly. I was a little caught off guard, and I had just watched some scary movie about this little kid being possessed, so I was a little bit like, what's going on? And I just went back in to finish cooking dinner. Well, then she just walks into the kitchen and she said, Danny, and I turned around like, what? She said, there's a man in the hallway. I had never been so scared in my life. I just froze. Like, it was like time slowed down. I ended up just slowly walking into the hallway with a butter knife because that's all I had. There's no one there. So I don't know why I'm believing my little sister. But I'm kind of paranoid at this point because, I've heard stories about how little kids see ghosts and stuff like that. I was playing with her and all of a sudden she just stopped dead in her tracks and said, "Baby," on the wall. I just was like, okay, whatever. It was about 3 a.m. and I was studying a little bit late. And I heard her crying. I went into her room and then she said, "The man in the closet." And I did not open the closet because I watched enough scary movies to know that, you only do that if you have a death wish. So I just kind of grabbed my sister. I'm like, "Okay, how do you sleep in my room tonight?" She's like, "I want to stay with the man." She is 2.
Y'all just heard that right. She said she wanted to stay with the man, and she gets scared of the man. What the?
These are the only times she speaks clearly. When she's saying something weird like that, "Stay with the man." And my parents, they think it's just normal 2-year-old stuff, but one time last week, we were watching Trolls. When they were, put the trolls in the pots and stuff, she just started laughing sadistically. I have never heard such a psychotic and malicious laugh come from a toddler. And then, spoiler alert, when the trolls escaped and everyone was happy, she just looked so disappointed. I don't know what's up with my sister, but I still love her though.
I will have food the baby down somewhere. So, go. Do I have time for one more? No, I don't know. Yeah.
There are people in our lives that make us feel safe and loved and respected. And then for some of us out there are people in our lives that are supposed to make us safe and loved and respected, but they don't do their job. My entire life, I've had a wonderful father who has made so many sacrifices for me and taken care of me so that I could have a better future. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about my mother. From a young age, I was always ridiculed, teased, and taunted by my mom. And whenever I did something wrong, I wasn't properly sat down and disciplined. I was yelled at and smacked even sometimes. I grew up with a very low self-esteem because my mom would say things like, "You're terrible, I don't like you, I don't love you at all. I think that you're a big burden to this family. What sin could I have possibly committed to have had you as a kid?" And she thought that all of these words would just brush over and that I would realize that she somehow didn't mean them. But she said them so many times that I don't think she doesn't believe them. In fact, I'm quite sure that she means everything that she says. And as a result, it has lowered my self-esteem and my self-worth, and it has made me do things like cutting and inflicting self-harm. As a young adult, even now, I suffer with this. Of course, I've stopped inflicting self-harm, but I have struggled with my self-worth so much. Whenever I look into the mirror, I can't see a girl that I love and appreciate. I can't see somebody that is strong and independent. I see someone who's weak and who's been broken and shattered by a negative influence all her life. To those of you out there who are struggling because of some negative influence in your life, whether it be your parents or an ex-best friend or an ex-boyfriend or a bully or anything, please remember that you're not alone, that you don't deserve to suffer this way, and nobody should be able to say that to you. You are wonderful, passionate human beings, and you have so much to offer this world. Don't let this negative influence take over your life anymore.
She had to talk to her.
Oh my god, we totally jumped off the cliff, had to zoom all the way ashore because the dog shit is all over the end.
Okay, if you guys want to watch this guy, I'm gonna leave I'm gonna tell you where to find the download. Please like and subscribe.